Tonight on CTV, ASCSU President Josh Silva is facing even more impeachment charges.
A presentation given about the history of lynching.
All that starting right now on CTV.
Hello, I'm Amelia Castaneda.
And I'm Marlo Lundak. Here are tonight's stories. ASCSU Senate met yesterday and new details into the Josh Silva impeachment came forward.
Important that the operations continue to be funded and we uphold our word.
The ASCSU student government met Wednesday night for a weekly Senate meeting. The meeting began with President Silva coming forward to address some issues.
The addition to the budget was overlooked.
During the meeting, members of the Senate came forward with another announcement about President Silva. A third petition for the impeachment of Josh Silva was announced right here in the Senate chamber during Wednesday's ASCSU Senate meeting. The charges Silva is facing are on constitutional violations and code of ethics violations.
Even though OEO is looking into their own investigation, the Wall Street Journal and the unprofessionalism are up to the Senate to judge how seriously we take the moral standards students of our institution are expected to uphold.
The impeachment included accusations of discrimination, verbal harassment, and obstruction of impeachment proceedings.
Due to a lack of professionalism and respect towards members of both the court and the executive cabinet, due to showing up to official ASCSU meetings intoxicated, disrespect to Senate leadership, senators, individuals with speaking rights, and members of the gallery due to not giving a presidential report and not showing up to the Senate session on September 20th.
The second impeachment process was put on hold after the university began its own investigation of Silva through the Office of Equal Opportunities. The most recent impeachment complaint includes violations that are not included in the OEO investigation. All complaints were filed by Sheridan Nordstrom, who denied an interview.
So a lot of people are saying that this is like a politicized thing that's going on. And really, I want to express that it didn't start that way. It really didn't. This, from my understanding, had been going on for a little while, some of the things, some of the problems that have been observed, and this was more brought to senators because the process in the court wasn't working.
This impeachment process has been taking place for a couple of weeks, and a lot of details have been coming forward very quickly. So if you're confused or simply need a summary, we have you covered here with the Silva recap.
The impeachment process started back in August when newly elected ASCSU President Josh Silva was accused of transferring funds without the Senate approval. An impeachment petition was brought forward by the Senator Nordstrom. The accusation stemmed from action Silva took to make a deal with the Wall Street Journal that would provide students access to the newspaper. This petition had 26% of Senate signatures, which surpassed the 20% required to move forward.
A week after this petition was brought forward, Senate canceled their session to try and go over the procedure for an impeachment process. The procedure they were going over included a one-week period where Nordstrom was allowed to make changes to the original petition, as well as allowing other Senate members to add or retract their signatures.
However, it was only 1 week later that a brand new petition was brought forward with additional charges, including not creating a job description for himself and breaking the section of the ASCSU Bill of Rights stating ASCSU members cannot discriminate.
A week after that, the whole investigation had to be put on hold as the university announced they would be conducting their own investigation of Silva. ASCSU's investigation is on hold because there can't be two investigations into the same charges held at the same time. This leads us to the newest development in the impeachment process.
Nordstrom's third petition adds on details about discrimination and verbal harassment charges, concealment of emails and files in order to obstruct impeachment proceedings, and reported consensual relations with other members of the executive branch. The new petition leaves out the pieces that the university was investigating, which allows ASCSU to continue its investigation.
This is Nordstrom's third petition against Josh Silva, and some have seemed skeptical of Nordstrom's motives. However, Nordstrom released the petition as a third party and stated, "It's not about politics, it's about the process. It's about transparency and being able to be transparent. This isn't any ill will against Josh at all. This is just about being accountable."
Despite all this news coming in over the past month, ASCSU is still early in the impeachment process, so expect more updates week to week on CTV Channel 11, as well as online at collegian.com.
Ranger and a semi-tractor trailer on Harmony. Both drivers were transported to local hospitals with injuries. Eastbound lanes were closed for approximately 6 hours after the crash.
CSU University Symposium composed of guest speakers forums throughout this week through September 29th. One forum opened a discussion relating to an incident that took place on CSU's own campus.
CSU students, professors, and community members gathered in the LSE Theater on Wednesday night to discuss the history of lynching. The presentation featured a film, followed by a student panel and a Q&A focusing on the news that was found on campus. Among the panel members was third-year sociology student Elijah Thomas, who discovered the news found in his hall at the start of the school year.
It's very difficult for me. It's very difficult.
It was really hard to hear. It's made me very emotional, and it's given me this feeling of hopelessness that I worry that people who experience racism feel every day. And I just wish that we could be in a better world.
The event was held in collaboration with the ACT Human Rights Film Festival, the Black African American Cultural Center at CSU, the CSU Department of Communication Studies, the CSU Department of Ethnic Studies, and the Department of History. CSU students expressed concerns they face on their own campus, including in their everyday classroom settings.
On a campus, they almost paid $30,000 in tuition, and that's real.
I'm sure there's so many people on campus that don't even know there was a news found to do so. And that's sad and that's disgusting, because I think that's something that should be known, and that should be something that we vilify and we talk about everywhere. And we say, hey, this is not allowed on a campus. You know, we're all here for education, we're all here to learn and to grow.
Elijah Thomas has asked the community to join him in his meeting with President Tony Frank on October 9th at 4 p.m. For more information on the Diversity Symposium, visit diversity.colostate.edu.
That's all we have for news.
Stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment right after this.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Good evening, Rams. I'm your weather anchor, Michaelangelo Bustamante. The past couple days, we've had a pretty interesting weather pattern, so let's get right down to the forecast. Tonight, all across the state, we have cloudy, in some places rainy weather. It's going to be much cooler, so up and down the Front Range, 44 in Fort Collins, 46 in Denver, 43 in the Springs, 45 in Pueblo. Out on the Eastern Plains, a lot of the same as well. 45 up in Sterling, 42 in Lyman, 41 Burlington, and 45 in Lamar. Up in the mountains, Steamboat Springs is going to be coming in at 35 degrees, 36 in Vail, 33 in Gunnison. It's actually the coldest place in the state tonight. 38 in Alamosa, 36 Telluride, and in Grand Junction is going to be 48 degrees. So tomorrow's weather, it's going to be cloudier in the morning with those clouds starting to move away as the sun starts to come out, starts to heat up things. So overall, those going to be much cooler. So 64 in Fort Collins, 66 in Denver, 57 in the Springs. It's going to rain for a little bit more there. 62 in Pueblo, 66 up in Sterling, 58 Lyman, 61 Burlington, 61 Lamar. Up in Steamboat, 61 degrees, 60 Vail, 61 in Gunnison. 61's a pretty popular temperature tomorrow. 61 in Alamosa as well, 56 in Telluride, and 71 in Grand Junction. Then as we go looking across the 7-day forecast, it's going to be 64 tomorrow. So once those clouds clear up, it's actually going to be a pretty nice day. Winds out of the east-southeast at 9 miles an hour. Then on Saturday, some clouds, winds out of the southeast at 11 miles an hour, but it'll be 70 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny. It's going to be a little bit windy with winds coming out of the west at 13 miles an hour, but it will be 71 degrees, so it's hard to complain with that. Monday, it's going to be 64 degrees. We're going to be cloudier on Monday, so those clouds make a return. Winds out of the south at 9 miles an hour. Then on Tuesday, it's going to be nice. Winds out of the east-southeast at 8 miles an hour, 69 degrees as the temperature. On Wednesday, it's going to be perfect. In my opinion, that's the best day of the week. It's going to be 68 degrees, perfect sunny skies. Then on Thursday, nice, it's going to be 69 degrees again with winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles an hour. So with October approaching us, I thought I'd take a look at the difference in temperatures between September and October. So in September, the average high is 75 degrees. The low is 47. This past September, we had 20 days above average so far. So it was a pretty warm September. Then for October, last year, or just in general, the average is 64 degrees is the high, 34 is the low. Last year, we had 24 days above average in October. So if last year is going to be any indication, it's going to be a pretty warm October, but we'll see what's going to happen. So now the forecast for the big game, CSU versus Hawaii. Our Rams are going out to Hawaii. It's a pretty nice place to go play football. When you're tailgating out there, it'll be 84 degrees with rain possible. So there will be some thunderstorms, some scattered showers. But by the time kickoff starts, those storms should move out of the way. It'll be 82 degrees. It's still going to be pretty humid. Humidity is going to be about 75%, so really humid out there, but otherwise it's beautiful, 82 degrees. Then by the fourth quarter, it's still going to be humid, but those temperatures are going to drop down to 78 degrees. So hopefully our Rams can get it done out in Hawaii. That's all I have for you tonight, but stay tuned because we have sports coming up next. Have a good night, Rams.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry. Bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
You are listening to ASCSU Fort Collins with DJ Meanbeat,
DJ Nightshade,
DJ Wildcard. Music to me is
one of the best creative outlets that I can think of.
An escape from the real world.
Music to me is an expression of love.
Go from like folk to hip hop to like classic rock, 1960s Bosco. With music, there's like no boundaries.
I work here because I love music, and you do too.
Welcome back. I'm Tyler Patterson, here to bring you all the latest in Colorado State athletics. CSU football didn't suit up this weekend, but they will soon be suiting up in some pretty slick alternate uniforms that were released to the public last week. The new look is called the State of Pride. It is inspired by the Colorado State flag. Athletic Director Joe Parker said in a release, "The use of our iconic state flag for the base element for this uniform speaks to the pride across Colorado for the university and also our mission as a land-grant institution." The Rams will sport these new uniforms against Boise State November 11th at 8:30 p.m. CSU travels to the University of Hawaii this Saturday to take on the Rainbow Warriors in the first conference game of the season. Women's volleyball opened up conference play last week against UNLV on Thursday and continued conference play against New Mexico on Saturday. The Rams went on to sweep the Rebels and the Lobos 3 sets apiece. Senior Jasmine Hanna reached 1,000 career kills against the Lobos, placing her second all-time in program history. Hanna is now just 59 kills away from the all-time record, currently held by Megan Plorde. CSU traveled across the border to Wyoming on Tuesday, where they continued their hot conference play by sweeping the University of Wyoming in 3 sets. The 3-0 start in conference play improves the Rams' record to 13-2 on the season. CSU travels to Air Force this Saturday to take on the Falcons at 1 p.m. Women's soccer played at Air Force last Friday and left the contest with a 1-1 draw. Emma Shinsky scored the lone goal for the Rams in the 62nd minute, assisted by CSU's own Alex Lanning. The Rams also played Colorado College this past Sunday and will record another tie, finishing the contest level at 0. Nothing dropped for the Rams in this one, even though they finished the match with a staggering 21 shots on goal. The Rams look forward to Friday's home matchup against San Jose State, where they hope to earn their first conference win of the season. Game time is set for 4 p.m. Colorado State cross country swept the weekly conference honors for the second time this season. Gerald Mock and McKenna Spiller were named the Mountain West men's and women's cross country athletes of the week. Mock's accolade is his second honor as many days as the senior was named The U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association NCAA Division I Men's Athlete of the Week on Monday. Spiller was also top finisher for CSU on the women's side, leading the Rams to a sixth-place team finish. Spiller's 6K time was the best of any Mountain West athlete this past week. The last time any Mountain West school has swept weekly Athletes of the Week twice in a single season was when New Mexico did it back in 2012. The cross-country team will have 3 weeks to prepare for one of the most competitive meets of the year, the Nutty Comb Wisconsin Invitational. The meet will be held in Madison, Wisconsin at the Zimmer Championship course. That's all the sports I have for tonight. For all the latest, head to thecollegian.com or CTV's Channel 11 YouTube. I'm Tyler Patterson. Up next is Ryan Crist with entertainment.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
What is up, Rams? My name is Ryan Crist, here on another fantastic Thursday to bring you all the latest and greatest in entertainment. In case you haven't heard, Avatar is getting 4 sequels, and they just announced the cast for their first sequel. And to be more specific, I'm talking blue people, not airbenders. Anyways, the filming for this sequel began on the 25th of September and is focusing on the children of Jake Sully and Neytiri, as well as the children from the Metkayina clan who dwell on the giant ocean reefs. And last but not least, one of the kids won't be from either clan, but will play a teenage boy from the Gate military complex. Director James Cameron has spent years on all these scripts, which is why the delay of this movie kept getting pushed. But for now, its official release date is December of 2020, and the 3 other movies should release soon after. One of the producers, John Landau, stated that the kids bring the biggest shift of this movie compared to the first one, saying, quote, "We've never had this useful element before, and that brings a different kind of energy to the film. While this movie is a long ways away, I am more than excited to jump right back into the blue world of Pandora." Do you like beer? Of course you do. So here's an inside look on local brewer with beer buds Frank Connolly and Casey Robinson.
What is up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another episode of Beer Me, the show where Frank and I go around to local breweries, try out their beer, and tell you what we like. Today we are at Intersect Brewing, which is a new brewery for us, and we're here with Will and Riley, trying out the Friend of Chaos. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
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 Can you guys tell us a little bit about the Friend of Chaos, what we're drinking here?
Yeah. This is our Black Rye IPA. So I think we originally released this last fall. And we knew we wanted to do a little alternative IPA. We're pretty hoppy brewery. We like hops.
Awesome.
So we wanted to mix it up a little bit. We knew we wanted to do a black one, and then we threw in the rye just because we're kind of a rye fan.
Like Will said, we use the rye malt, which gives us a little bit of spiciness, and then we balance that out with some really nice American hops. We use Citra and Amarillo in this beer.
Oh, awesome.
And so those kind of give it a little bit of a twist with fruitiness, and then it's also dry hopped with that. So this beer has a very nice aroma, and it's very well balanced. And you know, we have people come in that say, "I don't like rye beers," and I just say, "Well, try our rye beer." And a lot of the times we can sell it on them.
I was really surprised when I first saw it. I was expecting it to be more of like a coffee base or like a beer malt base, but then when I tasted it, it is like you taste the spices, you taste some of the tropical fruits.
Yeah, it's
really cool.
very smooth and balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
awesome.
interesting to do a blind taste, throw a blindfold on people, and see if they would know it's a dark beer.
So, one of the things I noticed about Intersect is it's huge, and you guys have a lot of places for kids, for people that are not, you know, maybe not over 21. Can you talk about that a little bit? Why is that? I love it. I think it's really cool. But
yeah, well, there were a couple things that led to that kind of decision to build the brewery that way. First, my wife and I, we have 2 young kids. I mean, they're 6 and 8 now. When we started building this, they're more like 3 and 5.
Okay.
So as parents of young kids, you know, it's hard to relate to people who don't have kids, but you go out and you really struggle to find somewhere there's a good balance that the parents can enjoy themselves and the kids can enjoy themselves.
Right.
You go to an adult-oriented place, the kids are bored out of their mind, and then they sort of drive you nuts because they want to get out of there.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the kids-oriented place, you know, you got to hang out with jungle gyms and and you know, that kind of thing. So you're kind of bored. So we're like, you know, why isn't there a place where parents can win and kids can win? We studied the demographics and we had people coming by during construction, and it was like 75 to 85% families, you know, with young kids.
Wow.
Asking us, when are we open? We can't wait till you open. And we thought, you know, those people are us, and we're going to need to accommodate them to where they feel comfortable and where their kids can enjoy themselves. So we just wanted to make it kind of a community brewery where, you know, adults can come by themselves, adults come with their friends, but also families with kids can come and still feel welcome and not feel like, you know, they're losing their mind because their kids are bored or things like that. So it worked out. I mean, people are very receptive around here, and, you know, they walk, they bike, bring their kids.
That's awesome.
Everybody's able to enjoy themselves.
Well, that's all for us, Rams, but you can catch Beer Me on the intersection of beer and us. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You can catch Beer Me every Friday on CTV 11 YouTube channel or at collegian.com under sponsored content. Twitter received some backlash on Tuesday when they announced that they will be beta testing an increased character limit from 140 to 280. And like most things on Twitter, the backlash was quick and primarily negative. Celebrities like supermodel Chrissy Teigen, who is known for her tweets, said that literally my only talent was being able to think of tweets that were exactly 140 characters long. I don't know if I'll be able to alter this to 280. Alyssa Milano, as many others, commented on the president potentially having 240 characters, saying, quote, "A small group can now tweet 280 characters instead of 140. Let's hope Trump is not a member of this small group." While most of this was negative, some celebrities took the opportunity to have some fun, like Ben Shapiro, who said, quote, "Am I one of the select few people who got 280 characters? I don't know, but perhaps the best way to find out is keep going with this tweet. And for now, the 240 character limit is still in beta testing, so who knows if it'll be implemented." In some more local news, the annual Fort Collins Car Show was rescheduled to this past weekend due to some snow we had in the spring, so let's check it out.
At Old Town this past weekend, this year's car show is going on where car enthusiasts could show off and look at these great cars. Whether your car is old or new, restored or maintained, everyone was checking out these cars. Wade Corners from Nelson Auto Tech, one of the sponsors of this event, told me more about the people that bring their cars.
We see a lot of the same cars. There's a lot of people in Fort Collins that are come in every time, which is good because that just shows the community is interested in being here. But a lot of guys roll out brand new cars almost every year, and we see some fresh new ones. It's nice.
Jim Myers told me more about how he restored his new car.
It's a 1967 Chevelle. I've had it just about 4.5 years. It's been finished for 2 years now. I bought it specific to build it the way I wanted it. All the mechanical and all the custom trim was done by my brother, Marvin, and myself in a 3-car garage. It took me about 2.5 years to finish it.
Anyone who attended this event also got to vote for their favorite car.
You're going to see every kind of car out there, from imports, Lamborghinis, BMWs, stuff like that, all the way to old street rods and things. So you're going to see such a wide variety of cars.
I'm Ryan Crist, CTV News.
Freaking out.
This show was great. It makes me want to fix up my dad's old Mustang, but then again, I don't know much about cars, so I guess I'll stick to entertainment. Lastly, we have some news with everyone's favorite family, the Kardashians. As we all know, on September 6th, news broke out that the surrogate that Kim and Kanye West hired got pregnant. Then on Friday last week, it was announced that Kylie Jenner is pregnant with a baby girl due in March with her boyfriend Travis Scott. And now on Tuesday, Khloe Kardashian announced that she is now pregnant as well with her boyfriend, Tristan Thompson. I swear, there are way too many Kardashians to keep up with. I can't even keep track of them anymore. Anyways, this baby will be the first one for Khloe, but her and her husband have stated that they want a big family, saying, quote, "We could start at one and grow from there." Well, Rams, I'm joined with Emma Ianna Cohn. It's nice to thank you for coming on to the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Of course. So we're going to be talking about this whole Kardashian news because it has been all over lately.
It's huge. I mean, 3 children they're expecting
exactly.
in their family? That's insane.
It's crazy. So what do you think? A lot of people are saying that it's kind of coincidental that they're having all these children right before the 10-year anniversary of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where they're coming from because they are a publicity family. They, you know, make their money off of being celebrities. But I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit harsh to say that people are having children just for the fame or to get their ratings up on their show. Like, I feel like that's a little excessive.
I agree. I think it's just a little too far that people are thinking that it was all planned. That's a little too much, even for this family.
Exactly.
Anyways, what do you think about Kylie being 20 and having her first child?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 20 myself, so for me to imagine, you know, expecting a child at this time in my life is insane. But props to Kylie. I'm sure she's going to be a great mom. She has a lot of female role models in her family, so I'm sure she's going to do just fine. But yeah, that's exciting and scary as a 20-year-old.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, I'm 19, so I couldn't even imagine being a father at that age, so that is just insane that she is doing that.
Absolutely. So, Ryan, do you watch a lot of Kardashians? Because I know you love to report on them.
I do love to report on the Kardashians, but I've actually only seen one episode. So
really?
Yeah, so I don't really know much about the show except for the news that I hear from it, and that one episode I saw that one time.
That one time, way back when. But yeah, well, I think in honor of talking about the Kardashians, you and I have to take a selfie.
I think we do. I mean, that's the only way.
All right. I think that we were pretty close to what Kim and Khloe do.
I think it was pretty much identical.
I know, yeah, I think so too.
Well, Rams, that's all the time I have for tonight, but make sure to stay tuned for Monday Night's Sports Show, and have a great night, Rams.